Today, I'm going to show you why culture is one of the most important things inside of your NDIS business. And I understand that culture is something that often can get overlooked because we're so focused on and all of the nitty gritty and getting the audits done and how to attract participants, learning how to zero and learning how to use line items. But really, it's something that is going to make a difference between having a sustainable business and a business that just doesn't go anywhere. So what I did, I went and got 11 providers that have gone through this process before and got some advice. And we're going to talk about that in a second. My name is Greg Chadwick, and I've been in the disability sector for 20 years now. I help NDIS providers as a strategic marketer to grow, to start their own business, to get their digital marketing presence done, and most of all, to make an impact on the participants that they support. Now, if anything in this video you see you like, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and if you'd like a copy of my provider accelerator masterclass, as always, leave a message below and I'll shoot that over to you through a DM on Facebook or wherever you can find me. So without further ado, let's jump into the content. All right, so how 11 providers built a culture where teams actually want to stay. So that's really what we want to do. We want to make sure and provide a presence and a culture where people love to come to work every day and they love what they do and they're part of our team. Okay, so what I did was I asked 11 providers, what's one thing you can do to help create a positive culture in your team and your organization? So let's break it down a little bit. So why is your team culture? Why does it make or break your business? Why does it make or break an NDIS business? Okay, so high turnover destroys trust and consistency. When we're talking about losing key support staff, and those support staff that are really, really important to you or the participants that they support, it can really hurt the trust and consistency of the participants. The participants now don't have continuity of care. They now don't have a trust in you as an organization to actually help them get the results because you're constantly switching over support staff and they're not clicking with people. And then from here, the participants actually don't believe in your culture either. Because we got to remember that support staff are your ambassadors. They're the ones that will have the trickle down effect to actually carry on to your participants. So it is going to drastically affect participants and cause a high turnover. So the next part is that it costs. There's a study done that it costs you $15,000 to $20,000 every time one person leaves your organization. So this is how much it will cost when we're looking at not just actually putting out an ad and trying to get new staff, but productivity, loss of people. They talk about poaching a lot in this industry. When you don't make a staff member a part of that culture, often it can cause a higher rate for people to actually leave and take the participant with them. So losing all this sort of stuff is actually going to really affect your bottom line. So it's much better to actually have a support staff that you can keep and mold and have them to actually believe in you and your culture. So it affects your referral pipeline. We always talk about who are our referral pipeline, who refers to us. Is it support coordinators, plan managers, whatever? They see our support staff and they see them the way that they're actually supporting the participants, and the participants talk back to them. So this is where it can really actually hurt your referral pipeline. So support coordinators might start not referring to you, and all of a sudden you're like, why aren't I getting any referrals? Because maybe the staff members don't believe in your culture. They're not doing a great job. The participants talk and it all comes back to through the pipeline. So burnout is the number one reason that people leave the sector. Okay, really, um, if you can create an environment where people actually love to work and love to come and do that, and a lot of it starts through the employment process. When you employ the right people for the right job, there's a higher percentage that they're not going to get burnout because they love going to work every day. They love going to help. Yeah, it might be hard, it might be challenging, but a good day's work and it is something very different to rocking up on shift and just really struggling to get through because you just don't like where you are. You don't like what you're doing. Maybe they don't like the people that they're supporting because they just never did. You employed them because they had some good attributes, but they were just never really good at supporting those people. And all of this sort of stuff affects your culture. site wide, because they're a part of a team. They're not then there won't be just one support worker working with the participants that you're supporting. There's a whole team filled full of people that actually care. And when one of them isn't buying in, then it can really affect. So the next one is culture. Culture drives your reputation, and it's really important for growth. Growth, like what we touched on a little bit before, as our referral pipeline. These guys are your ambassadors, and these guys are the ones that are going to grow with you. And as you start to grow, if you have a bad egg or a bad seed in there that doesn't believe in your culture, spreads rumors, and I'm sure we've all seen this sort of thing in organizations, this can really wreck your culture and really affect if people actually want to come to work every day. So, very, very important that it can actually hurt your reputation, because these guys are on the front line, and you'll see that reflected in some of the comments coming up. So, when does culture start? So, I believe that culture starts when you decide who it is that you want to support. You know, one of the questions I always ask people is what services do you provide? And they often say all things to all people. So then we narrow down and look at their messaging. So we look at who they actually want to support, who they're best equipped to support. So I believe you need to have a passion for the people that you support. What is your why? Trying to dive a little bit deeper into your why, and so why do I want to support these people? And I do a little bit of a process that, with some of the people inside of my mentorship group, and we do what's called 7 levels deep. So we look at the surface level of their why. So usually you ask somebody, you know, why? Why do you want to start a disability business? And they would say, because I want to help people live their best life, and I want to earn money doing it, or these sort of generic kind of answers. Okay, so why do you want to help people live their best life? And we go deeper and deeper and deeper until we get to that root cause of their why, because this is the sort of thing that needs to be ingrained into your culture, and it starts when you choose the people that you want to support, when you're very clear on the people you want to support, and you know your mission. Okay, what am I here to do? And then you can start employing staff that believe in your mission when you're in an interview, that align with what you're doing and understand that this is the direction we're going. And you have to understand now that you've started an NDIS business, there is no ifs and buts. You are the leader. And maybe you weren't good at leading before, but now you are the leader. This is something that you need to actually start to build and grow this skill set. Maybe you don't have this skill set. Watch a million YouTube videos, whatever you do, but learn how to be a leader and lead your team to believe in you and to believe in your culture. So this is one of 5. I'm going to go through 5 really good answers. Unfortunately, I didn't want to extend this video too long, so I'm not going to go through all 11. But if you would like to see all 11, please have a look at the link below. It'll take you to an article which will give you even more value. You'll also get a downloadable guide on some action steps at how to actually implement culture into your business. But without further ado, Paula Alsop from Coralive Care. She said shared ownership and leadership is very important to her in building culture within her team. So I'm there with my team, listen and handle problems so that they don't have to. I see it as our business, not just mine. Transparency and mutual respect create understanding. So making them a part of the business. You know, I when I was starting out in this disability sector, I was a part of a team where we started from the beginning, and the business grew, and there was always that culture there. And I believed in what they did. And I'm a big I'm a retired basketball player. So I believe in a team. So I am very invested. If you are the leader, I will follow you. So making it so they are involved, and this is our company to grow. This is, while your name is at the head of it, if we succeed and our company succeeds, you succeed because you have a better environment and you have shifts, and everything revolves around us as a team and being involved as a team. It's not just you are running my business. Yeah. So really great sentiment there from Paula. So Sandy from 545 Disability Services, lead with your personal story. And this goes deep into a little bit towards our why, so that I was speaking about before. So I share my story, my why I started this business. I'm present, work alongside my team, doing the hard work to we're in it together, and I listen and I act. And the big part there, right there at the end, is that you listen. Okay, when people feel heard and they feel validated, they feel a part of something. So giving them the ability to feel a part of her story, and believing in her why. And like I said, it starts with when you're employing people. Do they believe in you? Do they believe in your story and what you're trying to achieve here? So David Wells, the director of Coastal Wide Community Care, culture in the small stuff. He believes in the small stuff. I stay present and real, jumping in to help during shifts, checking in after a hard day. Culture is built in the small stuff, not the posters, not the slogans. So really leading by example. So getting in there, one of the big things I take away from this, and I'm a big believer that you can make an impact on somebody's life simply by a touch on the shoulder and asking if they're okay. Being receptive, being there to know that they can communicate to you, and that they don't have to, because people really want to do a great job. They want to impress you and do a good job, but it's okay not to do a good job. It's okay if you have a bad day. Come to me. I'll help you through this. Okay, being that shoulder and asking, is everything okay, and providing them with a space where they feel safe and to go to work is something really supportive and a great place that I would like to work, and a culture that I would believe in. So Patrina from Cystic Fibrosis Queensland, she believes in leading by example. I do ask my team. I don't ask my team to do anything I wouldn't do myself. I mention them, create growth opportunities, and ensure everyone gets equal reward and recognition. I think that's great. I'm a big believer, especially when starting an organization, that you need to do your apprenticeship first. I think boots on the ground, you've got to get that skill set done first, and that way you can show people and lead by example that, I wouldn't ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do. You can't give people impossible tasks, because that just creates a feeling of fear in people, because they don't believe they can ever fulfill that. So really awesome from Petra. Cedar Anderson, the amazing Cedar Anderson, one of the hosts of the Provider Collective here on the Gold Coast as well. Information sharing and feedback. Sharing information about the entire company so everyone knows that what is happening, and don't feel isolated, not just an employee. That's something we'll come back to. Asking for their feedback on changes and ideas within the business. They are on the coalface and understand the clients more than I do. So really important that if you can get your participants involved, your employees involved, so that they can provide feedback, then this gives them the feeling that, and the reality, that they're not just another employee, that they're valued, because they are the ones on the ground that actually see this stuff, and the feedback that you get from them is crucial to actually running an organization that is going to flow, but most importantly, actually get participants the results that they deserve to get. So making them feel not just another participant. And I think that's a massive, massive one. And that's why I left it till last, not just another employee, I should say. To not feel like that really makes you feel like a part of the team, like we're growing something here. So thank you so much, Cedar, for that. So 3 action points. So I'd like you, obviously I've covered a few things here, but there's some action points that you can actually go away and implement this sort of stuff right now. So I'd like you to focus on some self-reflection. Be conscious of how you actually show up. Okay, think externally to, what does this look like right now? Am I providing a good leadership when I walk into the office, and I have my shoulders held back, and can express, hey, how you doing? Like, just being there and present with your team every day, and self-reflect to see, how am I acting? Am I acting in a way that these 5 awesome experts have just revealed. Am I acting in this way, or am I maybe being a bit too introverted and just expecting people to actually do their job? Okay, reflect on your wins and your lessons daily. So I'd like you to create action. Okay, action one micro thing. Okay, that's how we create real change in you and your business. One small thing, change one small thing. So create some kind of uh, implement something that these experts have said, these expert providers have said that have been around a long time. Uh, Implement that into your business. Okay, this week, try and apply one thing. And if you can just make one small change each week, and that's why I'm doing series like this, is to give you that ability to make one small change in your business each week. You will look back in 2, 3, 4, 5 years and go, wow, I can't believe where I was because I was consistent. And that's what it comes down to, is being consistent to create some kind of action. So create that micro action. You don't need to change everything in a day. Just do one little small thing. And the last one is creating one SOP with your team. If you don't know what an SOP is, standard operating procedure, this is where you actually get serious about running your NDIS business and creating an SOP that you can actually delegate and hand things off to, but actually get your key team members to be in that with you. They're the ones that are going to help your culture actually trickle down. So you want your key team members around you actually believing in you the most. They're your Batman to your Robin. Okay. They believe in you and they're going to push your message down and out so that it trickles down and there is a snowball effect and that sort of thing carries on. So I'd love for you if you could go away and do this 3-point action plan. I know it's going to be really valuable and it's going to be really helpful. Now, what brings me joy is knowing I might have provided some value for you today and given you the tools to actually take away and impact change in somebody else's life. Now, I believe that small moments can affect change for someone forever. And maybe for you, change is here today in this video right here, right now. And I'm genuinely so grateful that you made it this far into the content. If you would subscribe, like, or comment, that'd be really helpful for me and my channel. And I give all of this sort of stuff away for free because I understand that you're as passionate about creating impact in other people's lives as I am. And I don't think this sort of stuff should be a secret. So would you like my help? My personal mentorship navigating the disability sector as an entrepreneur and a provider. I've been privileged enough to help hundreds of providers start their NDIS business, attract their ideal participants, grow, and do it all in the right way. So leave a message below, find me on Facebook, check out the links in the description, and if you would like a mentor or you would simply like some more information, please reach out to me. My name is Greg Chadwick, and together, let's keep showing up, let's keep growing, and let's keep building better supports.